Secretary of the Department of Social Welfare and Development, Mr. Paul Singer, Secretary of Solidarity Economy of Brazil, Mr. Peter Arting, Deputy Director of the UN Research Institute and Social Development, Dr. Shalito Habito, the Asian Solidarity Economic Council Chair on Policy Research and Advocacy Open Forum, Dr. Eduardo Gonzalez, Dean of the University of Philippines Asian Center, Dr. Ben Quiones, RIPESS Executive Coordinator.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Tan Sri Dr. Michael Yeoh sends his greetings from Malaysia and from the Asian Strategy and Leadership Institute. I am delighted to welcome all of you here and hope that you will have a very productive and useful forum sharing and learning from one another. Today, we live in an age of globalization with the mushroomings of bilateral and multilateral FTAs and economic partnership agreements between countries and regions. We also live in an age of uncertainty. We are uncertain of the outcome of the crisis in Washington, D.C. and how events will eventually unfold. We are uncertain about the recovery in Europe. We are also uncertain about how strong the Asian recovery will be with the slowing down in both China and India. Poverty, disease, child labor, and social inequality have reached their staggering levels today. The general economic prospects for Asia are still great, but so are the social and environmental obstacles that could stunt its growth. In such an uncertain environment, there is a growing trust deficit. There is a lack of trust in our leaders, both in governments and in businesses. There is a lack of trust in international organizations like the IMF and the European Central Bank. Witnessing one scandal after another unfolding from business and government, people like us are beginning to doubt and not trust our leaders. A lack of trust comes at a cost. Business efficiency will decline. Government and political leaders will lose their credibility. How much will this trust deficit cost government, business, and the society at large? Asia today needs to address various issues ranging from pollution to social inequality, corruption, urbanization, and infrastructure to ensure continued development. We shall not, in the name of development, be too enamored with the idea of free trade to the point that basic human values of compassion are conveniently forgotten. However, at the same time, we are also experiencing rising income inequalities between countries and within countries. Such income inequalities can be creating tensions and stresses. And ultimately, trust in the capitalistic system will be undermined as unfettered capitalism creates havoc and losses in the financial markets, as we could see during the Asia financial crisis in the 1997 and 1998 period, and in Europe since 2008 with the global financial crisis. Asia today is undeniably becoming an increasingly important region and rising to be a dominant economic force in the global economy. This region is confronted with several challenges that could slow down its rise. Failure to address these pertinent issues effectively will hold back the region's potential and make growth much more difficult in the years ahead. It is therefore relevant and pertinent for us to critically appraise the current international financial architecture and ask ourselves, how can we reform the global financial system to make it more supportive of developing nations? What can we do to provide a louder voice for developing nations in the present international financial system and within our respective countries? How can we better benefit the bottom 40% of our society? I believe that the voice of the third world and our poorer segments in society must be heard louder. We should therefore reflect on a new economic model that will place greater emphasis on the 3 Ps, namely the planet, the people, and the profit to ensure that long-term sustainable growth is possible. The social economy has been discussed here, which will be discussed here, may be one new model going forward. Not many people have adequate knowledge or information about what a social economy is all about, although social enterprises seem to be growing like mushrooms in many countries. Social enterprises can become the third leg of the social economy, with government and business as the two other legs, just like a three-legged stool. It will fall over if one leg is broken. We need all three legs for the stool to be still and standing. And likewise, I hope that more governments in the ASEAN member states will understand more about social economy and seriously evaluate how social economy can be integrated into national economic planning. It is also imperative that the promises of wealth and development do not blind decision makers to the necessity to think of all possibilities before it is too late. Those in positions today to decide shall not forget their humanity. I look forward to today's program to enlighten us further on social economy and to the interchange of ideas and perspectives. I am delighted that we have representatives from several ASEAN countries present with us here today. I thank you for attending and welcome you to Manila. I wish you all the successful and productive conference. Thank you.